folks, welcome back to Motivated Investing. China's financial system is changing. The country's law, digital currency, electronic payment, DCEP, a digital payment and processing network run by the Central Bank of China, and its digital currency, the digital Yuan, ECNY, is expected to completely replace physical cash. Unveiled in 2019, the DCEP began its trial in April 2020 and has been slowly rolled out in major cities including Shanghai, Chengdu, and Beijing. Its cautious implementations illustrates how seriously the Chinese government is taking the DCEP project. A digital currency is money that only exists as electronic data. While it can be used just like regular money, it has no physical form and transactions can be sent from any place and received in any locations in the world. The key distinction between digital currencies and more infamous cryptocurrencies such as Bitcoin is in their use of blockchain technology. Cryptocurrencies use blockchains to remain decentralized and anonymous. Avoiding the need for a supervisory authority, digital currencies use blockchain as well, but they operate with a centralized authority and require user identification. The DCEP features controllable anonymity that is tracked and requires users to download and register to an app on the smartphone. This centralization means that China's government has the ability to freeze and close accounts, something that is nearly impossible to achieve with the more democratic cryptocurrencies. The centralized system also allows users to rectify mistakes made when using or transferring digital currency, again a feature that is virtually non-existent with cryptocurrency. The long-term potential of the digital yuan will be its ability to subvert the power of the American dollar. In the West, the project has caused concern. The Wall Street Journal said the DCEP was a point of anxiety in Washington, and Wired called the digital currency a warning to world. There are good reasons to be cautious of a digital yuan. First, it gives the Chinese government increased surveillance powers over its citizens and private companies. Second, it has the potential to supplant the dominance of the US dollar in the international economy. However, the current low status of the RMB means that even a digitalized version will find difficult to budge the power of the mighty US greenback. At present, the DCEP is domestic product within China, and discussion in Chinese media about the internationalization of the system are limited. Attention is instead focused on how the digital currency will support the domestic retail market and the e-commerce industry, particularly as the economic rebound from the COVID pandemic has slowed. More likely, the long-term potential of the digital yuan will be its ability to subvert the power of the American dollar by enabling countries sanctioned by the United States, such as Iran, North Korea, and possibly Afghanistan, to conduct greater business with China. One of the benefits of the dollar's dominance is that any American sanctions are brutal on their target economies. Countries close to China could use the DCEP and alleviate the burdens imposed by sanctions. It will also challenge the ability of the United States to enforce international trade penalties against Chinese companies, such as Huawei and Douyin. By operating within the margins of international finance, the digital currency has also the potential to reach less developed regions outside China. DCEP has one important advantage over the currency system. Its digital wallets don't require an internet connection to be accessed via smartphone. China is well suited to the adoption of the digital currency thanks to the current widespread use of similar products including WeChat Pay and Alipay. These digital payment systems are among the most widely used in the world in major cities like Beijing. These methods of transferring money are so common and physical cash so rare that beggars on the street carry limited QR codes to receive donations. This total social adoption of the technology speaks to the potential of the DCEP. However, DCEP has one important advantage over other currency systems. Its digital wallets don't require an internet connection that be accessed via smartphones. A key motivator in the Chinese government's push for DCEP and its digital currency is that in the country's leap into the digital economy, tech companies such as Tencent and Ant Groups have gained greater financial power as their government continues to clamp down on tech firms, implementing new laws designed to curtail private companies' control of cash flow and collection of personal data. Future development of Alipay and WeChat Pay is likely to become forestalled. The DCEP is expected to overtake these payment systems and in doing so, limit the power wielded by China's major tech firms. Although the tech crackdown surprised local investors, its rapid implementation and these readiness of projects such as DCEP showed that the government had been planning to move for some time. The DCEP is a long-term project for the Chinese government, and its meticulous rollout demonstrates how seriously Beijing takes its goal for controlling its financial sector. The system offers rich potential for China's economic expansion, but the future plans of internationalization of the digital currency rely on how the domestic market adapts. It promises both a way to strengthen and regulate China's economy, but in so doing, increases the heavy hand of central government control. The digital yuan is not by any means a magic bullet for China's internationalization aspirations. If used properly, the digital yuan could boost China's internationalization projects. It could also help challenge the dollar's hegemony in international finance. However, several roadblocks could hinder the success of the digital yuan as a tool to challenge the dollar's hegemony. If you are enjoying this video, please like and subscribe. Capital account controls. The internationalization of the dollar and the euro was mostly market-driven. However, China's currency internationalization is a wholly government-driven process. The internationalization of the dollar and the euro was aided by the country's open and liberalized economies, an important prerequisite for reserve currencies. Comparatively, the Chinese financial system is far more restrictive, perhaps more restrictive than that of any other country that has aspired to internationalize its currency. China still maintains tight capital controls over its economy. While these controls are maintained to shield the RMB from volatility, they restrict the flow of the RMB across borders. This makes the currency less attractive to investors and financial markets. However, China is relaxing some of its capital controls to make its economy more favorable for foreign firms. As a result of this opening of its China saw foreign holdings of RMB assets increase to $1.16 trillion in September 2020 from $669 billion in December 2018. Trust. It is also important for the world to trust Chinese institutions. Takers of the digital yuan will require assurance that are checks on the power of the executive, which usually comes from political competition. Thus, China's efforts to internationalize its currency might also entail a shift in its political model. At least, this process could create several political precedents for China. The coronavirus pandemic and the escalating trade war between the United States and China have created an unfavorable opinion of China around the world. According to a survey conducted by a Pew Research, across 14 major nations, a maiden of 78% say they do not have much confidence in Chinese President Xi Jinping to do the right thing regarding world affairs. The survey also indicated that the world's perception of China as a leading economic power was largely favorable. A majority of the countries believe that China is the world leading economic power and not the United States. Competition from other CBDCs. A digital yuan success depends heavily on the ability and the willingness of the rest of the world to embrace the digital currencies as payment instrument. China's ambitious to build yuan-dominated digital payment highways could be hindered if it were to face competition from other digital currencies. The US Fed Chair Jerome Powell has deemed the digital dollar project as a top priority. He has also indicated that the United States plans to play a role in developing global CBDC standards. In order to prevent China from building alternative payment infrastructure, the United States will have to become a credible competitor in CBDC space. Other Western powers like the EU and Canada are also looking into CBDCs, according to Christine Lagarde. The EU could roll out its version of CBDC, the digital euro, in the next 4 years by 2025. Conclusion. Over the last 2 decades, China has managed to become the world's largest trading partner. China has also carefully, through coordinated efforts of disturbing aid investments in infrastructure and technological advances, built its soft power around the world. However, with only 2% share in the world's foreign exchange reserves, China has only managed to make a dent in the US-dominated global financial system. China's digital yuan project could turn the dent into crater if it manages to successfully create an alternative to the present dollar-dominated payment rails. The digital yuan could prove to be China's most effective and noteworthy attack on US hegemony. China does not plan to do this alone by setting up a cross-border CBDC arrangements with unlikely allies like Russia. These new payments highways could liberate the world from living under the constant threat of US sanctions. For the first time since the Bretton Woods system, which left the reins of the world's financial system with the United States, it could become possible for countries to find their way around US sanctions. This is a definite threat to the United States' influence on the rest of the world, with the US Federal Reserve far behind in CBDC initiatives. It is unlikely that China digital yuan will face any credible competition in the CBDC sphere soon. China's ability to conduct large-scale pilots of a well-researched and carefully designed CBDC with no match for the rest of the world is a testament to China's growing capabilities and wide ambitions. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. See you in the next video.